Hello there. In today's video I'm going to be showing you exactly how I create my eBay listings. We'll go through it together step by step. I've also written an article about how I do this, which is in more detail, so I'll leave a link to that in the description below. So yeah, please do go and check that out. If you do find this video useful, please be sure to like and subscribe it and hit that bell notification. Okay, now the first thing to do is the title. Now the title is important for several reasons. The main one is that when people buy things on eBay, they usually find their items by search, and the search algorithm in eBay goes off the title. It does look at some things in other parts of the listing, but the title is the main thing. So in your title you need to put words that you think people are going to search for when they look for an item like yours. Now in my case I'm selling this silver necklace, this silver coloured stainless steel necklace. So I'm going to put words like silver, stainless steel. I haven't actually put the phrase necklace in it, I've put chain. And the reason I haven't put the word necklace in is because if you look down here at the category, which we'll come on to in a second, the category is also counted as part of the search results, so any words that are in the category. So for instance, if someone searches for silver necklace, my item will appear in the results because it's got the word necklace down here. You only have about 80 characters, so it's a good idea to put the descriptive search terms first, and then other items that will make your item stand out from the rest of the search results. So when people scroll through, you need to put something that's going to attract their attention, that's going to make your item look better than everybody else's. So in my case I've put that it's chunky, because it is, and I've put that it comes with a gift bag, because a lot of them don't, or maybe they do but they don't say they don't. So okay, moving on to the subtitle. I would ignore that generally unless you're selling something really expensive. Subtitles are generally poor value for money. All it really gives you is an extra 55 characters of search terms, and I rarely find that I need those extra 55. So yeah, I wouldn't, as I say, I wouldn't bother unless you've got a really expensive item. Custom label or SKU, that's only really for serious sellers who have a lot of items to sell and they use their own internal cataloguing system, so we can ignore that. Category, it is important to get the right one, as I said, because it affects your search results. Some people do shop by category, so obviously it does help to pick the right category. Browsing is usually the easiest one, you'll find the most logical one, so yeah, I'm just going to keep that one because that's the one I want. You can add a second category, but you pay double fees. So for instance, if I wanted to, I could put this in perhaps fine jewellery, or it's in men's jewellery, and really there's no reason why a woman couldn't wear this, so I could put it into another category. Let's have a look. Let's try, call it fine, fine jewellery, so I could put it in fine necklaces and pendants, other necklaces and pendants for instance, but I will be charged, pay a fee there, and I'm pretty sure I would be charged double at the end of when this item finally sells. I think I'd have to pay double fees as well. So yeah, I don't generally do that. Okay, condition. This is a brand new item, so I'm putting that it's brand new. If it wasn't new, I would just write a description in there. Be honest, that's the main thing I would say. If you try and fool people, you're going to end up with a refund on your hands, or you could end up losing your item and the money, so it's best just be honest. Okay, and then the photographs. I've done a bit of before and after here, so these are bottom 3 photographs here. This is what the photographs looked when I imported them. And then with a bit of tweaking, if you come down here you've got crop, rotate, brightness and contrast, and there's also sharpen, don't know if you can see, I don't know how well that shows up, but so I've already played with these 3, and it does make a big difference. Actually, I've made the background almost disappear. The photographs are what bring people from the search results into your listing. So having a good photograph is really important, and it is worth spending a bit of time getting them to look right. So, which is what I've done here. So I'm going to get rid of these. On this one, I've picked this photo. None of these photos are amazing, to be honest, but I've picked this one as the front one because it shows that it comes with a gift bag. So my kind of ideal customer is someone who's looking to buy a necklace for their partner and wants it as a gift and thinks, aha, this is the one, it's got a gift bag with it, the others don't. It may be that the others do, but if they don't show it in the photograph, so they can't see it in the description, then they think that there isn't one. Okay, so coming down into item specifics. It's a good idea to fill these out, whatever you're selling. These vary massively depending on what you are selling. People can filter when they search. People can filter based on these in certain categories. So by putting that it's a chain, by putting that it helps me essentially. If I don't fill any of these in, I might find that I get less views, less hits. Okay, I've finished my description, so I'll just go through each bit of it. So again, the title I've just copied up from the top, but what I've also done is made it bigger and underlined it. And you can do this by, normally you only get the choice of bold and then the 2 lists, but if you come across here to the right hand side, you'll see the advanced editing, and then here you can get a lot more features, a bit sort of like the kind of things you'd see in Microsoft Word or other software. So you can choose different fonts. I don't tend to change the font, but I do. I've made it bold and underlined. This one here I've made blue because I'm just highlighting the good bits. I'm telling them exactly what it is. It's a stainless steel chain. And with the features, I've just bolded that, and then I've used the bullet list here just to pick out the different things. So they've got the length, the width, the weight, and then just a couple of benefits about it, just sort of selling points really. Part of the reason for putting these in is so that people don't ask you questions. Some people won't ask a question, they'll just go and find another listing and buy it from someone else, but some people will ask you a question, and it can be quite annoying sometimes if you get lots of questions about an item, so it's well worth putting as much information as you can into your description. And also it avoids or reduces the chance of you having a dispute later and someone saying, it's not as described. Okay, so we'll move on to the next area, the selling details. Okay, so now for this listing I'm going to be using fixed price. So I'm going to start my listing when I submit it. I'm not going to schedule it. Scheduling is good for auctions, which is the other option. I'm going to set my price at £15, and I'm going to allow people to make offers. These automatic offers can be quite useful, but I'm not going to use them today. Quantity, I've only got 1 item to sell, so I'm just going to keep it at that. I'm not selling it as a lot because it's just 1 item. I'm not going to make this listing private. That's more for kind of sensitive or embarrassing items. So what this does is it stops people from seeing what you bought in your feedback. So for instance, if you're buying something of a medical nature, something very personal, some kind of cream or sex toy or something, then you would want to tick this so that your buyers weren't embarrassed. Make a donation, so you can choose to donate some of the money that you make to charity. So sometimes I'll go on and stick 10% for cancer research. You can have any percentage you like, from 10 all the way up to 100. So we'll put 10% to cancer research. You don't have to do that.
Okay, moving on, payment options. I'd just make sure you pick PayPal and put the correct PayPal email address in there. And it is a good idea for fixed price listings to use required immediate payment, because otherwise there is a chance that people can add it to the cart, and then there is another feature they can use to say they've paid when they haven't, so it's always good to do that. Okay, moving on, domestic returns accepted. I'm going to leave it at 14 days, and postage will be paid by the buyer. The only time you generally see free returns is for people who sell clothing, and they usually send out an envelope, like a prepaid envelope with the clothing, because they're expecting, a high rate of return for their items. Whereas I don't really expect anyone to send this one back. I'm not going to do international returns. It's just I don't mind people buying things from abroad, and you usually make more money on it, but it does add an extra element of risk. So I don't tend to encourage it, but I don't stop people doing it. So I'm not going to encourage it by clicking international returns accepted. So delivery details. Your choices here are courier and local collection only. These are for usually big, heavy items. For most things, you'll just want flat, same cost to all buyers. So I'm going to send this by signed for, because it's a jewellery item. There's a chance that either a buyer might pretend they've not received it, or that they didn't order it and do a chargeback. I've had that before with jewellery, and so I'm going to get a service that's got a signature on it. My Hermes and most other carriers will do a signature service, but I'm going to do that as free P&P, just because it's more enticing. It's better to actually put the price up and offer free postage, generally, than to add postage on and sell it for a lower price. And I've also added special delivery, just in case let's say it's a birthday and someone desperately needs it the next day. It's just it costs a lot more, so I've added that price on, but it just makes my listing stand out a bit more. It might tick the box that someone, if someone is in that position. So I always add that option in if I can. I don't really want people coming around my house picking up bits of jewellery, so I'm not going to offer local collection. Dispatch time is 1 working day, because I live close to the post office. International postage, I'm going to leave this as flat, same cost to all buyers. If you are going to do this, if you are going to have international postage, I strongly recommend you do it with a tracked and signed service. I've sent lots of things abroad, and when I've sent them via a slightly more expensive tracked and signed service, they always get there, no problem. If you try and send things on the cheap, you just send them by kind of standard mail, things disappear all the time. And I've had probably like a 50% rate of things disappearing when I've not used a tracked or signed. So I usually do Royal Mail International tracked. It's worth doing your homework to see how much it costs. In this case, it's only a small item. It's just, it'll fit in a large letter. So I've already been onto the Royal Mail website and checked that that's about £10 to send it to Australia, which is the worst case, I would say, for postage here in the UK. If you live somewhere else in the world, then obviously you'll need to check out your own postal services. Coming down, international site visibility. So I could pay extra money and put it on eBay US. In this case, it's a cheap bit of jewellery, and there's plenty of cheap jewellery in the US and Canada, so I don't really need to pay extra and compete with them. They're much more likely to just buy something local, so I'm not going to click that. This is quite a good one for, say, if you've got something a bit more unusual or unique, like an antiques or artwork or something that you couldn't get in the US or Canada, for instance. Okay, package weight and dimensions. I've put some approximate dimensions for my packet. These will affect the the postage calculations when you sell your item and print the postage out, so it is worth filling them out properly, or as close as you can. The weight will also affect them. So again, I put 99 grams because I know that the threshold is 100 grams for the price to go up to the next level in Royal Mail. So my item weighs about 40 grams, so with the packaging it'll probably be, let's say, 60. So I've just put 99 in there to be safe. Exclude postage locations. I don't tend to do this. I have seen some people do it. You'll see some people will exclude certain countries. For instance, you could exclude Italy or Romania or Russia or something. Like I said before, if you send stuff with a good postal service, like a good signed for and tracked service, in my experience, it doesn't matter what country you send it to, it will get there. And if you skimp on the postage and you send it by a cheap method, there's a very good chance it'll disappear. I've had things go missing in France, in America, in Canada, just by using a kind of plain vanilla services, so without a signature or tracking. So it doesn't really matter, what country you send it to. So I would encourage you not to use that, but it's up to you. Item location, just make sure it's your address in there. Let's say if you moved house and you put your old address, the return address will be printed on your eBay label if you use eBay to print it out. And your item could, in theory, end up being returned to the wrong address. So it's important to make sure that's right. Okay, nearly at the end now. Sell it faster. This is a great little tool, and I've used this to sell things very quickly indeed. This is effectively advertising or promoting your eBay listing, so that when people search for things, your item will come top of the list. It won't come top every time, but statistically it's more likely to come top more of the time the higher that you make this number. So here it says the trending rate is 11.1%. So what I've done is I've just bumped mine up above that rate. If I put it at, say, 10%, I would still come top of the list sometimes, but by putting it up a bit more, I'll come top more often. The downside is that this percentage is the percentage of your the fee you get for your item, the actual price of your item that you're going to pay eBay for this privilege. So by doing this, I'm essentially giving eBay an extra £2.72 of my £15. Now, when you bear in mind eBay they're going to take 10% anyway. For me as a private seller, and PayPal are going to take 3% plus, or 2.9% plus 30p. So you do need to do your maths beforehand. What I tend to do is put price up, and then advertise, and you tend to sell more, or sell more items and sell them faster than you would if you put a lower price. The last thing is multi-buy. I only have one item, so I'm not going to use this. But this is quite good if you are selling lots of items. You can encourage people to buy more of them and give them a discount based on the kind of postage savings that you make. And then the last thing to do is preview it. I always do this, and it's good. It's a good thing to get into the habit of doing, because you can often spot mistakes and things. So, okay, the photo looks okay. The title looks fine. And you can see this is how it's going to look to other buyers. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's nice and clean. It's got good bits highlighted. Actually, see there? I want to make a space between pouch and features. That's the only thing I would say that's wrong with that. So let's go look. Okay. And list. And there we have it. You're all done. Success. Your item is listed for sale. So I hope you found this video useful. As I said, I've written an article which has got more detail than I could fit into this video. So please do check out the link in the description. And if you found it useful, please hit like and subscribe if you want more videos like this. And also hit the notification bell as well. That way you'll be notified whenever I make a new video. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.